Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness, Freeman Mazda Hyundai, and Worth the Poor. I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still got to get a big boom, y'all. Boom! It is Wednesday, hump day. Yeah, y'all in the building early. I try to be. I try to be. Part 2 today of our Rating the Draft series, and it's about Sam Williams, a.k.a. D. Williams. Whatever, man. We'll figure this out. I might surprise y'all today. I got some ratings that, well, at least the first one, that I think might catch you off guard. But this isn't just me spitting. I really feel a certain type of way, so we'll talk about that. And then in the roundup, a lot of backup quarterback talk. Cowboys, I guess, could use an upgrade there, but some interesting nuggets there from NFL Network and then a former NFL quarterback that we'll get into. Plus, we finally get our dates for the Cowboys rookies to report, and then I'll talk about those and the other dates as well. I might shoot down to the star and just see. I don't know if these things are open to the public. I highly doubt it, but you never know. You might catch somebody coming through, get a chance to talk to one of the young bucks or whatever. Plus, I need to go back to the pro shop. It's been a while since I went down there. I know I said I wouldn't be getting jerseys and things like that, and I ain't doing all that, But, I do like the coffee mugs that they got. I do like the coffee mugs. All right, man, some shout-outs in order before we get to this morning's news. Stephen White in the building. Todd Cook in the building. My guy, Lee Chambers, what's good, brother? He says, I'm excited about the players we picked up. D. Williams might be something special. Hold tight, because I like this young man. We'll talk about him in a second here. Toxic Tom says, Sky, don't be giving the Joneses your money. I know. I did say I wasn't going to be doing that. I need some more mugs, bro. Who else we got in the building? C. Nix, Griff 181, Reek, Jason Brown, Samuel Rowe, Joe Peasy, TC 915, Mark Smith, Lord Nova 85, James Morris, my boy Rory 717 in the building today. Nisi, Jaws 88, Dre, Reigns. Who else we got? Jason Brown, Big H. What's good, Big H? Captain America, Adrian, Just Blaze, Professor O. I'm having a hard time too. He says I'm having a hard time adjusting to D. Williams for after calling him Sam for so long. And he dropped the raccoon tranquilizer from yesterday. I swear to God, I forgot what it was. I wasn't that far off. Raccoons, beavers. I mean, we talking about here. Matt Goddix. What else we got over here on Facebook? Salute to Todd, Tino. We got CJ in the building. CJ Richards. I knew you was here, brother. I knew. Oscar Sullivan, John Garcia, Nicholas P, Chuck P, and then many more coming through. If y'all missed today's show, y'all can run it back. I did drop our year one impact part of yesterday's show on YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch that if you don't want to watch the entire show from yesterday. But today's going to be a good one, man. Like I said, I feel good about Sam. I'll say this, and I said this the other day. I actually think he has more talent, like talent right now than your first round pick. It's just a matter of if you agree where he was taken. And again, I don't want to give the whole show away before we get into it. We'll talk about that on our first part, but we got to get into this roundup and get to some news.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time!
It's time.
It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Yes, sir. The Morning Roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. More than just a fitness club, they provide the tools, support, and resources you need to achieve your goals. And now they have 13 different locations in the DFW area equipped with state-of-the-art equipment all over DFW. So hit up any of those 13 different locations or visit TexasFamilyFitness.com. So the other day, Ian Rappaport went on NFL Network. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Ever since the other day, I got a little paranoid about this audio. All right. Ian Rappaport went on NFL Network, and he speculated that the reason for the Titans to trade up for Malik Willis is because the Titans could have believed the Cowboys were going to select Malik Willis in the 3rd round? Really? I mean, I'm all for upgrading the backup position and everything, but I kind of have my doubts on this one big time because the last time the Cowboys drafted a quarterback that was higher than Dak Prescott at 135 or something like that was in 2009. And before I go, I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds to let me know what quarterback that was. I know Professor O know this one. The last time the Cowboys drafted a quarterback higher than Dak Prescott. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stephen McGee. They drafted him, I believe, with the 101 overall pick in 2009, and the dude never really played at all. So I just find that hard to believe, And the way that Ian Rappaport said it on NFL Network, it wasn't a statement. It was maybe the Titans traded in front of the Cowboys. This could be one of those things where, hey, you say Dallas, you get guys like me talking about it. So, because I don't believe that for 1 second. And not to mention, you're talking about the 3rd round. Dallas is still looking for contributors in the 3rd round. Malik Willis ain't contributing to nothing. But RG3 could. No, seriously. RG3 ran a 4.48 in a 40-yard dash. Pretty impressive for a guy who's got oil in his metal knees and hasn't played football in a bit. He ran a 4.48 40-yard dash for a charity event, and apparently ever since that, he's gotten calls from NFL execs about returning. This is what he had to say. But the desire to play is still there, and I've been blessed that ESPN has given me an opportunity to do what I've done for the past 8 months in the broadcast booth, while also understanding that I still have a desire to play. He listed 3 teams, I think the Bears, the Falcons, and yes, the Dallas Cowboys. Toxic called him RG43. That's a good one. RG43. Wow. So what do y'all think about RG3 being a backup quarterback here in Dallas? I think it'd be really weird to see RG3 in a Cowboys uniform. I like him in the booth, man. He's a really good analyst. He's got energy. He's obviously smart. He's always been a smart, bright player / person. It was just about, his wheels, his legs. He's injury prone. He's brittle. But as an analyst, I think he's doing a fantastic job. I think you could see him getting in one of those high-end NFL, CBS, Fox, ESPN type of gigs in the NFL at some point. But RG3 as a backup, I don't think I'm with it. Although I will say this, to not contradict myself here, I've been saying this for a while. When it comes to backup quarterbacks, I kind of want to get a guy that has more similar traits to the one you have, meaning now Dak isn't as mobile as he used to be. Now maybe he gets that back, but at one point I was saying get me a mobile quarterback behind Dak because he was a mobile quarterback. 2021 he wasn't a mobile quarterback because he had a shredded ankle and then messed up his calf. But maybe he gets that back. He slimmed up a little bit. So I won't contradict myself. I wouldn't mind a mobile guy behind him, but RG3, I don't know about that. And then finally, rookie minicamp dates are set May 13th through the 15th of the rookie minicamps. Then following that, OTAs are from May 24th, 25th. Then they come back a week later, about June 1st to 2nd, then June 6th and 7th, then June 9th and 10th. And I believe at this moment right now, they are in phase 2. They are in phase 2 of their program. And then the mandatory mini camp is June 14th through the 16th. And unfortunately, after that, we go through a long dry spell. Usually, I try to get interviews during that time point because about June 17th all the way to the middle of July, you get nothing football-wise. Nothing. And me personally, this May 13th through June 16th is amazing. You're going to get a ton of minicamp stuff, mandatory minicamp, rookie minicamp. We'll get some nuggets coming out of that. I'm excited for it, you know. I'm excited for it. I told y'all yesterday, I could be pissed off between January and May or January and April. Now we get new players. We get to see some football stuff going on, and that excites me as a football fan, so I can't wait to dive into all of that, man. What y'all talking about in here? Danny Savage, who Rob Parker? You know, I thought about that. The whole Cornball Brother reference. I thought about that. But I thought that was old news. I didn't think that was still going around. Is that still going on? I think Rob Parker got booted off ESPN for that. Almost said something else. That's why I paused. Because I forgot he said Cornball Brother. I'm going to just leave it out. I'm going to just leave that alone. All right, look, before we get into Sam Williams, I got to tell y'all about this week's ride of the week, and then we're going to jump right into a lot. It's a lot of good stuff to know about Sam. Like, again, once you get these players and you dive into these dudes, you start getting into their backgrounds, listening to them more, obviously watching even more film, you come away with some good impressions, some bad impressions, but there's a lot to talk about with him. But before that, let's talk about this week's ride of the week, which is the 2022 Honda Palisade. That's how you say it. It's a high-class cabin, smooth ride, and a space for the whole family. It's easy to see why this vehicle has been a hit for Hyundai. The brand's largest SUV runs the gamut from its value-oriented base trim to its highest model. I might take a look at this. I like big SUVs. I got a bunch of bucks. Got a dog. Get that third row seating. They got the towing capable trailer sway control, right? Obviously, the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, blind spot, collision avoidance, and the backup camera, and rear parking sensors. They got it all in this vehicle, man. Visit freemanhyundai.com for more information. That is this week's ride of the week.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. My bro Lee said I need one. I'm looking into it. And I just got my little Mazda 6 last year. But I'm really an SUV type. Like, I had an SUV prior to my Mazda. But when I came to Texas, I was like, I'll downgrade size. Should have upgraded. They say everything's bigger in Texas, and I downgraded. Talking about, man. All right. Sam D. Williams. What are we calling him, y'all? I'm kind of waiting until we hear him at press conferences and he stamps it emphatically that, hey, y'all gonna call me D. Williams, not Sam Williams. Until then, I'm kind of all over the place. And then here's the funny thing. I brought this up on Vach's show. He doesn't want it to be spelled D-E-E. He wants it to be spelled D-E. Because I think his middle name starts with a D and an E and then like a G or something. So we had some fun with that. I'm like, is it Sam Day Williams? Is it Sam Defensive End Williams? D. Williams. We'll figure this thing out. One way we'll figure this thing out. All right. Let's talk about him, though. He's another one of those players like Tyler Smith yesterday where you talk about upside, and it goes beyond the physical tools because he has those physical tools, but the mental capacity. I talked about that a lot yesterday. I want players that want to be great. I want players that love the game. And I know I sound like Jason Garrett, but you know, that aspect of it is real, right? That aspect of it is real. Here's a let me see if I can find this quote. Oh, I have it up here, actually. Here's a quote from Sam Williams that, you know, I absolutely love this one. There's a couple quotes we'll get to just like yesterday. But he said, I just started attacking greatness in the film room, taking notes in practice, and even after practice. I learned how to practice. And some people say I practice hard, but do you know how to practice? Meaning every practice you're supposed to learn something. You're never supposed to be the same. Either you get worse or you get better, but never the same. So every practice I try to get better at something. Even with my hands, my feet, my eyes. That was the biggest thing that I've done. I started attacking greatness in the film room. I know these are just words, and I'm going to say it every time I find one of these quotes from one of these players, but sometimes words do have meaning when you go out there and you actually put that into play, right? You turn them words into action. And it's hard to argue his actions on the field when you look at Sam Williams and his production, and obviously not just at Ole Miss. His production prior to getting to Ole Miss is why he got there, y'all. It's why he got there. Let's go ahead and get into the rating of the draft portion of Sam Williams. We talked about the athleticism. You can see it with him. He's 6'4", 261, and ran a 4.46. It just screamed. The testing numbers are great. Plus, it screamed that when you went and watched the film. But let's get to know him a little bit more. Much like Tyler Smith, he didn't really play a certain part of football. Now, Smith played football. He just on the other side. But he didn't play football until his senior year in high school. And you can kind of tell that his game is still developing. He was actually a hooper. He was a basketball player growing up. And I think it was the story went something like the coaches seen him, like most coaches do in high school. Hey, man, you 6'4". You're rocked up a bit. You sure you don't want to go play some football? So he played football. His senior year, he actually moved in with his teacher, his substitute teacher. He had a tough upbringing, like a lot of these players. And he shined enough, not enough to get offers from D1 schools, but enough to get into JUCO. All right, so he's a JUCO transfer, but when he was at JUCO in his second year, he absolutely dominated. I mean, these numbers are ridiculous, but it is JUCO. He finished with 75 tackles, 28.5 tackles for loss, 17.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles in 9 games. I mean, it's just silly, really. And obviously, after his second year, teams came a-calling. I mean, a bunch of teams, top Power 5 schools were interested in Sam Williams. His mama named him Sam, so I'm going to call him Sam. Here's another quote from him that I absolutely love. If I attack greatness in everything I do, even on the football field, I want to do it as a dad too. You can't say I'm great and just be great at one thing. You got to be great at everything. I want to be the best at everything I do, including being a dad. And the reason why that one stands out to me, I mean, much like a lot of people in this chat, you know, I have a child, you know, I have children actually. And I can't speak for everyone, but I do know when I had my first child, that changed me completely. And I started attacking things with my son in mind. Till this day, I still do that. Till this day, I want to be great for them. And listening to him say that and then listen to him talk about it actually, you know, via video, you can tell whatever mistakes that he made in the past, which he did, and you know, we could bring that up if you guys want to call in. Having a child change his mentality in a good way. And you guys know I always talk about, are you also taking the necessary steps off the field to make sure you're being great on it or available on it, right? He made his mistakes 2020 and beyond. Let's just get out the way. There was a sexual battery charge that was dropped. I mean, pretty damn fast, too, by the way. The sexual battery charge was dropped pretty quickly, and he was allowed to come back on the team. He said he didn't do anything, but he understands why that is going to carry around throughout his life, and at some point he's going to have to describe to his son or to his child, I can't remember if he had a son or daughter, that, you know, hey, this is what happened, but that is not who your dad is or was, but he's going to explain it to him. So, you know, it's, in a way, it reminds me of Micah. Last year, Micah, remember, came out. People were concerned about his character because of some things that he, you know, had happened when he was younger. Micah had a kid. Micah also grew up. When you listen to Micah talk, you heard maturity in him. You knew this, what the 21-year-old Micah wasn't the 18-year-old Micah, the 19-year-old Micah. And I think you see the same thing happening with Sam D. Williams. Right? So I'm excited for this kid because he wants to be great. And I can't take that for granted. I can't. Not only does he want to be great, not only does he talk the talk, he walks the walk, and he goes out there and he tries to be great. And he did that in 2021 in the SEC. He absolutely did it. All right, let's get into the first part. In fact, should we hit the lines? We got my guy. We're going to hit the line real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll get into the value part of the ratings. We got Marv on the horn. What's up, Marv? How you doing, man?
What's up, family? How you doing?
I'm good, MJ. Hey, listen, man. Yesterday on Vacha's show was absolutely fun. You were a great sport, dog, and you actually got the damn name right yesterday. So salute to you, man. What's up?
It was funny. He thought I was gonna mess up.
He did. I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought you was gonna mess up too.
Now I know my players now. You know, I'm old school.
You old school, man.
I was back in the Dorset days. Remember Jim Hart, the quarterback from the Cardinals?
I know Jim Neihart,
Terry Metcalf.
No, I do know Terry.
I went to the game when they played the Cardinals. They beat us. I was like, They said them Cardinal fans are tearing me up because I'm from St. Louis. You trash. I said, man, I'm a Cowboys fan for life. What you talking about?
Well, what you got for us today, MJ?
Oh man, I'm just excited, man, with this speed, Jimmy Johnson defense, with your boy coaching it. Oh my God, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people trying to get cut. I'm gonna keep telling you still, them slow linebackers that's already been there, Gilford and all them. If they don't bring they rush pass,
I don't disagree with that. I'm with you. I think Gifford, I don't even know if Francis Bernard is still here or not, but those type of guys are definitely on the clock. There's some young, hungry, athletic guys at the end of that first round and in undrafted free agents.
And all the linebackers run 4.4, 4.5.
Get out.
I did 2.30. I know Philadelphia saw that. You can't tell me that NFC oh my God. Sam Williams, I'm telling you, man, he's getting 10 sacks, man. And I keep telling y'all, the guy they picked up from Dan Quinn last guy, what's his name, the D that we picked up that used to play for Atlanta?
Oh, Fowler. Yeah. Fowler's going to be, I like him.
Fowler's going to get a lot of sacks. He's going to get a big contract because everybody going to Dallas to get them big contracts signed for 1 year, turn it out, get a big contract. That's smart, though. Hey, Mark, what me and you said, because me and you be thinking on the same term.
You're wrong.
Clowney is either going to sign with us or Cleveland. What's what I tell you? Clowney
Wait. Let me say this, Mark. If the Cowboys sign Clowney, I promise you, I will take everything you say as gospel. Because I don't see that happening at all.
I just got a feeling, man. Something big about to happen. Something about to happen. Because Clowney is choosing what team he's going to pick. He wait till the last minute to choose the Cleveland. Gave him an offer 20. And he knows, man. Can Dallas win? He watching because he watching your boy Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is like a magnet. Everybody want to play for Dan Quinn. Everybody.
Brother, everybody could want to play for him, but Stephen Jones got to sign him, right?
Hey, if Dan Quinn, I'm telling you, who's gonna tell? What's your boy? Our captain, because he cut his dreads out.
Oh, D-Law.
D-Law gonna tell him, man, he clowning on the side. You know how much that gonna make us dangerous.
Well, D-Law he didn't give money back, but D-Law took a bit of a pay cut to bring in people, and they still didn't. So I think his faith in Stephen Jones is
and that's what he gonna bring
gone.
up to him.
Yeah,
he gonna say, I take the deal now. You got that money. Cause you know,
hey, listen, Marv. If that happens, I will literally give you the stage, man. I'll create a visual. Man, you will be our Magic 8 Ball.
Can't hear you.
Uh-oh. You can't hear me?
Say?
Check. You got me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I said if that happens, Marv, you will be our Magic 8 Ball, because I just don't see it happening, man. But in closing, so I can get to the rest of this Sam Williams show.
You must be in a maze. You keep cutting in and out.
I keep cutting in and out. Folks, am I cutting in and out? Or Marv? You know, yesterday you had some trouble. You had some trouble finding, let's go in your Gmail. So it might be your phone. You know what I mean?
No, I got the best phone. I got the Samsung.
You got the best phone. You know what? Now that I got you on the phone, you know what? What took you so long to find Let's Go yesterday? I'm just still curious about that.
I don't know, man. For some reason, I went brain dead. It's like you got to take a test.
But why'd you go into your Gmail to find it? He had to go into his AOL. All right, look. Let me get back to the show, Marv. I appreciate you calling in, good brother.
Let's get this Super Bowl.
I must be cutting out. All right, man. I'll get with you.
All right, Sam.
Boy, it's getting more and more bizarre. Foch come in here messing up. Come on, Foch. Leave my guy Marv alone. All right, let's get to this rating part. Let me just calm myself down first before I get into it. If y'all missed it, man, just go back and watch it. I mean, classic call yesterday on Foch's show. Classic call. Whew. I'm still laughing, and I need to calm down because I want to get to this first part. All right, we're going to talk about the value. Gotta calm down. For those who don't know about how we do this rating the draft, there's 3 categories: value, first year impact, and long-term outlook. And we will rate them from 1 to 5 stars. All right. And the first one for me may shock a lot of you guys in regards to the value of Sam Williams, but just hold tight. Let me explain. You guys can also participate. So here we go. I give this 4 stars. I like, what? How did you give that 4 stars? Listen to me. When it comes to this position, edge is highly favored in the league. It's a QB game, and getting after the QB holds a ton of weight. But here's why I actually gave it a 4. When you go back and you look at the edge rushers taken before and after Williams, I'd argue he wasn't going to be around at no 88 where a lot of people wanted to take him. I don't think he would have. So you had 5 edge rushers taken before Sam Williams, D. Williams, and you had 5 edge rushers taken after him. So you had 11 edge rushers, including Williams, taken in a round and a half. And when I say after him, I mean in the 3rd round. Like right after him. So I just find it hard to believe he would have been there. And I think a healthy amount of draft pundits already had Williams as a late 3rd, late 2nd type of guy anyway. At the very least, a early 4th round pick. And that's being kind given the position. So it's not just the position in of itself either, right? I do believe that Sam Williams has a lot to say about this too. 6'4", we talked about, runs a 4.4 40. The athleticism is there. He's super twitched up. He's super twitched up. He can get upfield on you, and he's one of those guys that I think can attack you from behind better than maybe anyone except Micah Parsons on the team. I feel like he can track you down with the best of them because he's super athletic, right? In fact, I'd argue you're going to see Micah and then you're going to see Sam Williams as those dudes that get those tackles from behind type thing. There was this one rep against Alabama, and I'll get to the negative tape of Alabama, but there was this one rep against Alabama where he looked like a rabbit, man. He was just hopping around, sifting through traffic, changing direction. You see it all there from a physical standpoint with him. But I think the most impressive thing about his production in the SEC is that he ranked second in sacks, hurries, and pressures, fourth in pass rush win rate, all while basically playing out of position. Seriously, and we'll get to that point. So I think betting on upside at the edge position is never a bad thing, Cowboys Nation. So that's why I actually gave the value 4, which may surprise some people because a lot of people looked at this as a reach, and it wasn't. See, if you go back and watch my reaction to this, it wasn't about me believing we're reaching or whatever. I mean, all these picks can be considered. You could have took them around later. It was, I like Nick Benito. I really wanted Nick Benito at that spot. But when I went back and looked, I just don't think he would have made it. I don't. In fact, the Broncos took Benito after. I'd argue they would have took him if they didn't. If the Cowboys took Benito, they would have took Sam Williams. So what do you guys think about the value for Sam? I got to go back up here because not really seeing a lot of people disagreeing. I'm actually shocked. I thought people would have been pissed about the value here. 3 is fair. No, Sam, I did not hate Sam Williams on draft day. The first round pick, I was like, oh god. But it's because I hated the player. Again, both Sam Williams and Tyler Smith has nothing to do about the player. Everything to do about who I wanted personally. Me, Skywalker Steel. But don't be in here lying. There's proof. There's tape. Go watch. Did not hate Sam Williams. I wanted a couple other players. Jalen Tolbert was part of that, and we'll get to him at another point. Travis Jones was part of that. Nick Benito was a part of that. There were a lot of guys that I wanted. But when you go back and watch from a value standpoint, there were 11 edge rushers taken. 11 between round 2 and round 3. He wasn't making it, bruh. He wasn't making it. All right, before we get to the second part, I'm going to jump back into the phone lines here and get to my good brother, Set It Off. Chris, what's happening?
What's up, boss? Good
good
morning
with
to you, man. Hey, man, Marv just ain't trying to eat no IHOP, man. He ain't having none of that mess, man. That's all it is with Marv, bro. Marv
Indeed, my bad. I was
reading.
reading the
Yeah, it's all
comments.
good. Yeah, Marv showing out in these streets, man. Hey, but my question is, as always, contents matter. That's your phrase, man. And so what you said about D, a.k.a. Sam, or the guy who don't know what his name is, Williams, my question is, who went after him? Who are the 5 guys you're saying went after him?
Oh, I can go find it if you give me a second.
Yeah. I'm just saying because when you said, you wanted Benito, my problem is you could have got Karlaftis right there, but I don't know if
No, you couldn't.
Loved Ed. Right.
Karlaftis?
No. You could have. No. You could have got Karlaftis when we got Tyler Smith. The question is, would you have loved? Yeah. Would you have loved Ed Ingram or the other guy you would have got afterwards? That's the only question. Because a lot of us had that same reaction. A lot of people who follow you, a lot of people in the Cowboy community had that feeling. Hey, why not get the best pass rusher, not maybe the fourth or fifth best pass rusher? But what you're saying, the way you laid it out, like you said, with context, his ability and all the upside ticks he had with win rate, with playing the SEC against that kind of talent and things of that nature. His measurables, you can't grow. Brandon was telling me and Brandon were talking last night. You can't grow genetics and what he is genetically and what he can do physically. No, you can't grow that. But yeah, the 4, honestly, it's sort of like a 5. It's a home run on the value for where you got him. So I mean, I'm gonna hop off the line. I'm gonna continue to listen. But that was the one thing I wanted to say to you. Who were the 5 guys you said they got drafted
I got
afterwards?
You. Drake Jackson, Nick Benito.
Right.
Where we at? Alex Wright, D'Angelo Malone. Is that 4? I think I got
4.
one. I'm missing one more. I ran by another one. My bad. But that's 4. There's a 5th one somewhere. I just missed it.
Yeah. So nobody drafted after him.
Oh,
so
DeMarvin
Lyle.
Lyell.
Of the bunch. Yeah. So honestly, outside of Nick Benito, whom I liked as well, nobody else was really better than him. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Nobody was better than him. So we second guess the front office, but I think the one thing, this is just a culmination of how we feel because everything that happened in the offseason, and you don't participate in free agency, that you put so much pressure to feel like you got to hit home runs on every draft pick. And when we finish going through this, I believe we're going to look like, it's a really, really good draft without a super duper big name, and every guy that we got outside of, as you go down the list, maybe one of the cornerbacks or one of those guys can't play and can't make this roster. So, it is what it is, man. Great show as always, brother. And I just want to reach out to you and hit you on that, man. That's what I was thinking.
Indeed. Appreciate you as always. Set it off, Chris.
Hey, man, no problem, bro. I'll keep listening, bro.
All right. Hey, Sam, call into the show. What the hell you talking about? That's what we not going to do. You're not going to slander me in here. Call into the show, good brother. The hell is you talking about? Don't hide in them chats. I want the smoke. We're not fitting to do that up in here. Los, what you got for us before we move on?
Yo, good morning, Scott. Good morning. Hello?
I got you, brother. What's up?
Okay. Good morning, man. Just want to say there's quick things on Sam Williams. He's going to give you a better impact on the field, and you know why? Availability. And we all know D-Law and Randy always had some questions. D-Law coming off, some injuries, that surgery, and Randy, well, Randy can draw a suspension from anything sometimes. So we'll see. But he's going to go through some growing pains, no doubt about it. But having Dan Quinn and Micah drawing attention helps you grow through those pains, especially with the traits he has. He has a quick, explosive first step, and I think at the level he played, it really helps him. What do you think, Sky?
Yeah, I'm gonna get more into Sam here as we go on, but I don't want to give away too much before I get into the other part. But just know that I think Dan Quinn, the way they're going to use him, is going to be completely different than what Ole Miss did, which honestly could raise his value if you want to be real. That's why I think it was impressive what he did at Ole Miss. I was watching even more yesterday, and I just kept saying, why the hell they got him banging with these guards? It was goofy, but I'm going to play a clip where he actually talks about that a little bit later.
Gotcha. And, yeah, that's about it. And just a quick note, I missed yesterday's show on Vosh, so I don't know what y'all talking about the call, so I have to check that out. But I hear y'all were dying of laughter.
Oh, yeah, you got to go back and watch that one. In fact, it's on Vosh's channel. Go watch that, John.
All right, man. But
All right,
you have a good morning. Happy Tuesday. And, hey, let's go Mavs. I'm telling you, Scott, I need that 2011 run magic.
Do they have a 2011 roster, though? You know what I mean?
Hey, that's how we won it last time. We got Luka.
That was a good-ass roster. People be sleeping on that roster. But, yeah, anyway. All right, man, let's get back to this rating series, man, and talk about the year one impact, all right? And y'all let me know how y'all feel about the year one impact. For me, I actually have it a little bit lower. I have this as a 2. So, he's still finding himself as a pass rusher, no doubt about that. Most of What he is right now is an athlete. Really damn good one. Foundationally, he has the physical tools, right? But I think he needs to add more to his toolbox as a pass rusher. I think that's where he's going to need to develop in the NFL. You like to see a better counter. That's one thing I noticed. He didn't have much of a counter. His initial pass rush is authority. He's not really. There's no chopping. There's no hand fighting. There's not much of a counter unless he's getting upfield and he's cutting across the face. And he did that to Charles Cross. But when it comes to a pass rush plan, I think he should really follow D-Law. I think he's a perfect guy to follow around. He always has a plan when it comes to pass rushing, and he makes the tackle work to stop it. And as my guy, John Owning, says, he could stand to get better at his rush angles and setting up his moves. The rush with the plan, with nuanced footwork. I definitely don't see a nuanced rusher at all. And again, that probably comes because he's still kind of raw to football in general. He only started playing football I won't say what year, but a senior year in high school. And he said, and this is a quote, "I really didn't start learning football until I got to Ole Miss." So he's still learning the game. And you can see where they lined him up sometimes in this Alabama game. And it's like this all year. It's rough. So another reason why I think his year one impact could be a little bit lower is because there are more refined rushers on this team right now, like Dante Fowler, who y'all know I think is going to be really solid this year. Terrell Basham. I don't think they're going to make it easy on him. But Fowler and Basham are the guys I think he's probably going to be competing with for tick. Throw in the fact that they paid Dorrance Armstrong, who they love. They paid him $13 million. I think the realistic expectation today, right now, is that he won't be starting. Now, obviously, those things can change once camp gets here and preseason gets here, and we get an idea of, how they could use him. But I think the competition will be real very early for him. It's not like Dallas has the history of just throwing their second-round picks and saying, "Yep, it's your job, big fella." It took an injury for Diggs. Now, Kelvin Joseph got hurt, but let's not get it twisted. Kelvin Joseph wasn't running away with nothing in camp before he got injured. So recent history shows that they're going to make him earn it, and I don't think it's going to be easy unless he just comes out there and just snaps. So, but he still gets more than just 0 or 1 stars because he has two things I don't think you can teach, and that's the athleticism, and he has a motor that runs hot, and he has those things in spades, right? So, I think having those two things and then having Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, on the field where teams are game planning for those guys, that one-on-one matchup that he will get, I think he can take advantage of and be an efficient, productive player as opposed to this massively overproductive player where you're getting 8, 9, 10 sacks. You may not see that, but he's probably not even going to play 700, 800 snaps, to be honest with you, barring injury. I don't think he'll play all those snaps, but if he can be efficient in those snaps, I think you still get some sort of impact. But I just don't have this high as we sit right here Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, because this team rotates. He's still working as a pass rusher, and he has to win mostly athletically. And I think you're going to see guys above him get more tick as we speak right now. So that could change. So I got his year one impact pretty low as a 2. What y'all talking about in here? 2. I think a lot of people are seeing it. 2, 3 says Cash. 3 on year impact. TC915, 3 Jason. So 2, 3. 1.5 Beavers on year one impact, says Professor O. I see my boy Vach and Marv in the building going at it. Yeah, so I don't think this one is crazy. In fact, I think this one is realistic, right? Like I felt good personally about the value. That's why I had it higher after I went back and watched and understanding the position. But the year one impact, I think this is extremely realistic because of all the rushers in front of him. All right, man. Let me put on my vest because we got Short Dog on the horn. What's good, Short Dog?
What it do, my guy? You know what it is, bro. This is Vaches big dog, straight from the borderlands. I'm just calling to say what's up to you, bro. And I'm just telling everybody, hey, how the hell's my boy Sky got 200, 300 views, but only 72 likes, dog? Like, you guys are allergic to the subscribe, the like button. Like, you see him doing his thing, he should have way more than 15K subs. This thing should be moving, bro. You guys need to learn how to do the connection thing, bro. When you guys see this shit, it doesn't cost you nothing to sub and like, because these two guys are the best. You know, Vach is the boss. That's my guy, but still, he's ill with it too, bro. This guy's got so much swag in the bag. This guy's got a lot of tools in the bucket, and he's got that nuance. And, bro, we got to grow the channel. But as far as the defensive end consideration going, look, a lot of people, I think, are sleeping on Dante Fowler. He's got the connection with Quinn. You know, he's got 35 career sacks. He was a 3rd overall pick. You know, so at the end of the day, he's going to be your pass rush specialist. I think Golston and your guy Armstrong are going to be the guys that roll out 1st, 2nd down, and then you're going to see those other 2 guys come in. So, you know, Williams ain't going to have much of a – he's going to really be fighting with Basham to see who gets the, you know, the end of that bone, you know, the dry meat. So I think that's that there. And as far as going in, I don't know if you saw, but they debunked that whole – the draft board, and they seen who if it was true about Tyler Smith and I mean, what's his name, the guy that says he has a straight dope, but that shit's cut. But he does have the real deal, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, they did have Tyler Smith at 16, bro. But anyway, just checking up. Good morning. I'll see you at Vaches deal at 2. I love y'all.
Appreciate you, Short Dog. Almost choked. Hey, I saw that draft board. How the hell did y'all make anything out of that? I went and looked. I showed my lady. I showed Vach. I wiped my glasses off. What did y'all see? I'll bring it up maybe later. Gotta get that out. I'll bring it up maybe later. Let's get to 973. 973, you live.
Yo, Sky, this is Sam.
Oh, yes, Sam. What you talking about, bro?
Yo, well, first of all, I'm a big fan. I
know.
watch you and Mo every day. So I want to say that. No, I was saying, like, Mo was teasing you, though, about Sam Williams. You had your heart set on Nick Benito.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to slander you. I love you guys, so.
Yeah, that's all that was, man. I wasn't bashing Sam Williams, dog. I just, you know me. I like Nick. Nick was my guy.
Yeah, we all had that, guys. But I just wanted to call in for the first time, say big up. Everyone hit the likes, and I'll be supporting you guys throughout the season. So
appreciate you. Real quick before you leave, how you feel about this Sam, a.k.a. D. Williams?
Character thing checks out, and I don't, you don't want to, like, slander someone really, but, like, hopefully it's like Dallas is the big lights, and we that can get to some people. So if he can hold on, I think he has a lot of talent. That 4.4 speed at that size is ridiculous. There's not many people even in the league that's going to be able to keep up with him. So if he can keep his head on straight, and hopefully, as a brother he can, then he's a really, really good pick. They know what they're doing. So I just wish they would be a little bit more accurate in free agency because, like,
there you go.
The draft is part of it, but we lost, even though you can make a rational argument for all of those guys, we still lost a lot of talent. You got the Eagles fans, and we better than those teams, but the gap's closed. So I just wish we had gotten, like, one impact player in free agency to make up for losing Coop, and I think we would have been straight. But, you never know what's going to happen. This Tolbert kid could be impactful and whatever, so we just got to see.
Yeah, I like that, man. It wasn't going to make up for the Coop, but, hey, maybe Tolbert can come in and do some good things, man. But appreciate you calling in, Sam.
All right, peace out, Nerd.
Yes, sir. I think the very first thing, I don't should say first thing, but the main thing that Quinn needs to try to find with Sam is another tool to add to his repertoire. Because if I had to think of a pass rush move that he has right now on a consistent basis, it's basically the long arm. Like, I don't really see him do much other than long arm defenders. And he could because he was inside, and we'll get to this in a second with their long-term outlook. Because he was inside, he's got a strong punch. You know, he got strong hands. But I want to see more, and that's going to come with development. And I don't think he could have two better, people to be around to help develop as a pass rusher, a nuanced pass rusher in D-Law, right? And then Coach Dan Quinn. So, the ceiling is there because of him wanting to be great and his talent, but also because of who he has around him to help him reach it. Hopefully Dan Quinn is here for a long time. Hopefully he's there for a long time. All right, we're going to get to the last one. We still got some callers on the horn, and then we'll finish out the show with that. So let's get to the long-term outlook. And I got this one as a 4. Going 4 stars here because, like I said, I think this is a guy that they were, high on. They coveted him early in the draft process, and we know Dallas really wants to secure a juice rusher long-term. I know y'all keep hearing me say that. It's probably something you don't hear other people say because it's silly, but that's just the best way I could put it. Juice. We need more juice opposite of D-Law. The Cowboys have been trying to find that juice for years. Dan Quinn, Greg Hardy, Dan Quinn, Robert Quinn, Greg Hardy, Randy Gregory, all these guys, they haven't found a guy to consistently be that juice edge rusher oppo D-Law. And how do I know that they want to secure a long-term juice rusher? Well, they just signed Randy Gregory, or they tried to sign Randy Gregory to a 5-year deal, $70 million deal. And actually, I think he will play that Randy Gregory role at some point where they have him moving around, standing up, hands down in the dirt, things like that. So I actually look at him as a guy that has some long-term stay because he has the ability, he has the want to, and the team has the want to keep him around. Now, obviously, this all depends on him being good. If he's not good, he won't be around. But another reason why I think he has the potential to be a long-term guy here is because I don't think he'll be used like he was used in Ole Miss. They basically had that dude taking on center guards and the inside shoulder of tackles way too much in that 3-3-5 defense. Cool nugget, when he was lined up as an edge rusher, PFF graded him as a 90.7 in regards to a pass rush grade. Now, you could take PFF with a grain of salt, but they did view him as a guy who was better when he was outside the tackle. Now, I want y'all to listen to what he had to say about playing in that 4-eye technique, banging with those guards and those centers constantly. This is a clip from Blogging the Boys. Connor Livesay had a great interview with them, but just take a listen to what he was talking about when being utilized the way he was utilized there and how happy he is to not be doing that anymore.
Oh man, but watching you at Ole Miss, I was very impressed with your game. You had a top 50 grade for me, so I thought the value where you landed at 56 was great for the team, great for you, great fit. One thing that when I'm watching, you played a lot of that like 4 technique, 4-eye. You played inside the tackles, inside shoulder at times. Are you excited to maybe get with Dan Quinn to where you can bounce outside, play that 5 or 7 technique, get outside the tackle a little bit and really let your speed, that 4.46 speed, that explosiveness, get off the ball and go? Because at times I was like, this dude's a freak, man. And then I was like, why do they just have him fighting tackles all game and not just winning the edge immediately with his first step quickness, burst, and speed?
Like, you have no idea how happy I am. 4-eye is not for the weak. And I'm talking about, like, during the season, before the season, I started at, like, 265. Going down, I lost a few pounds so I can, like, move better and stuff. So I was, like, 255. So just imagine me going against a guard and a tackle at 255.
I know.
It wasn't the best, but it's what the team needed. So, hey, you got to suck it up sometimes. But I'm so happy.
Yeah, trust me, man. That was the conversation I had with a lot of people where they're like, give me, what's the rundown on Sam? I'm watching him and he's good, but I'm like, trust me, bounce him 2 more feet outside the tackle and the production, the pressures, they're going to ride. Even though you had 12.5 sacks, you had a ton of pressures. I just said you put him in a role where it's going to let his traits expand and show up more. I said, dude, this guy's going to be a stud.
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, you can hear it in his voice how excited he is to not have to bang against guards, right? Not have to bang against the inside shoulders of tackles all game. Hell, sometimes center. This dude was basically playing 3 technique a lot. So, I'm in agreement there. I think once they move him outside, I think you could see his production in the NFL be great, be good. I don't use the term great loosely, but be really good until we see it. I can't use the term great. But think about this for a second. Like I said earlier, my man was second in the SEC in everything just about. Pressures, pass rush, win rate, he was top 5, sacks, and I believe tackles for loss. Playing that position, playing a 3-tech, playing the 4-eye, right? And I think that's so impressive from a guy like Sam Williams, who is not built in that way. But like I said earlier, the fact that he was inside, I think, is why you see him have that strong punch, and he's very strong with his arms, because you ain't got no choice to be, right? When you're dealing with those dudes, you can't be soft going inside. He said it. He said playing 4-eye is not for the weak. It's not at all. So I think he has some long-term stick to him, because I think he has the ability, and I think Dallas is looking for a guy to keep around as a juice rusher long-term. By the way, year 1, I think they should move Sam Williams around. Maybe he won't be Randy Gregory, now. I think Randy was obviously a better player coming in, but just that role, they had Randy everywhere. They had him standing up. They had him his hand in the ground. I mean, dude has experience going inside, so he could technically move inside, take advantage of some guards from time to time. But I would just move this man around. Chess piece him. You know how I wanted to use Nick Benito? Damn it, use him in the same way. Just use him in the same way. Designated pass rusher. Don't need him to start. Don't need him to play 45 snaps a game. Year 1, allow him to get in part of that rotation. 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, and get Micah, have him, have D-Law, Osa. Hell, throw Fowler in there if you want. All getting after the passer on long distance downs. And I think you could see him be productive because he's the least of your worries, right? He's the least of your worries. You got to deal with D-Law. You got to deal with Micah Parsons. And you got to deal with Dan Quinn dialing it up. Those are real. All right, let's get into the chat, and then we'll get back into the phone lines here. So I got 4 stars on the long term. Let me go look and see what you guys were saying. Gregory gave 10 stars. Sam gave 4 beavers. Y'all killing me with these damn... Y'all gonna kill me with the beavers, right? That's just gonna stick. 3 long term from Professor O with 3 beavers. Oh wow, man. Again, y'all can participate in this. So he better show out. 5 stars, says CJ. Okay. I did see a question. Oh, Gregory says, Sky, what was your rankings at this point on Parsons last year? It wasn't 5 all the way around. I was trying to be fair. It was definitely 5 long term. It might have been 5, or it might have been 4, because I said something about money. Year 1 impact, I think, was 5. I have to go look. I actually had the video pulled up. And value, I actually think I dinged the value a bit because of the whole notion of people boxing him into an off-ball linebacker. So I think the value was a 3 or 4. And we didn't know if they were going to use him more as a pass rusher, I think. So I got to go back and look. But that's a good question. I'll go back and check it out. We got a super chat from Below the Heavens. Appreciate you.
Super chat.
He says that number 54 is cursed for our 2nd round picks. I ain't got to go and put that in there, man. Is that what he's wearing? 54? Again, he might be 54 now. Well, once you cut everybody, he might change his number. So we'll see. TC says 4 stars. Stephen White gives it 5. Jason gives it 4 beavers. JA 4 to 5, 4. All right, so long-term outlook, people are a bit of agreement here that they think he'll stick around. Stephen White says he'll have 8 sacks with a limited role this year. Whew. Let me tell y'all something. If he has 8 sacks as a part-time rusher in year 1, then you could just blow all of these ratings out the door. I got 4 stars for the value. I explained why. I think if you look at the rushers taken before and after, there were 11 of them. I think he fit right in the middle of that. And honestly, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think there were too many better after him. And some of those dudes are kind of tweeners, and I don't like tweeners. Y'all know me. So there was only like Benito who I really wanted more than him. 2 stars for year 1 impact. I told y'all the reason why I believe that is because I just think he's going to be part of the rotation. And I don't see him getting 700, 800 snaps barring injury. Thus, anything, if you get 3 to 4 sacks, I'll take that. You know, I just don't see it being high at this moment because there's so many other rushers that will be involved. And then I got 4 stars for the long-term outlook because I do think they want him to stick. I think he has the want to and the ability to stick. So I'm pretty high on him being around long. So I got 4 stars. KD says, let's see how he does with talent around him. Let Dan Quinn keep building this defense. You know, that's another conversation we'll have. How long is Dan Quinn going to be here? Right? They wanted him last year, or this past offseason. Will they want him again? Will he stick around? Will he take over for Mike McCarthy? I want him here as long as possible, man. And if he's not going to be here, then somebody that's going to follow in his footsteps with the same mindset to be here, to utilize these guys correctly. So that's something we'll talk about later. All right, man, let's get to 254 on the horn. What's up, 254?
What's up? Still, first I want to say good morning.
Good morning.
And as far as the Sam Williams pick, I gotta totally disagree with you.
On which aspect? The value, the year 1 impact, outlook, or just you don't like him in general?
I don't like him in general.
Okay.
I think value-wise, I think he's more of a 4th, 5th round type of pick guy. I understand the athleticism, but from what I've seen, he lacks pass rush moves, and I would rather have a guy like Drake Jackson or Nick Bonito, which you're a fan of, or maybe even the Marvin Lill. You just said you don't like tweeners, but I think he offers. Yeah, I think he offers versatility, and all 3 of those guys are better pass rushers right now and still have potential to grow, like Sam Williams and all those. And then Drake Jackson, Nick Bonito are both athletically similar, in my opinion.
So, Lyell, who was better last year in the SEC? Because they both were in the SEC, right?
Yes, they're both in the SEC. Sam Williams did all of his sacks aren't versus SEC talent. That's the thing.
This is true. That's fair. That's a fair point. I won't even fight you on that.
Right. So, and even some of it, like LSU sacks, one was a cover sack, one he did move, and it's even if you go into the sacks he did get in SEC, I think he had a sack versus Bama, and it's more that he ran free rather than
that sack. I didn't even put it. I mean, it was in his highlight, but I didn't include that in his Alabama tape because again, he just kind of came free. There was nobody blocked him.
Right. So yeah, like I understand the athletic upside, but I just still think there are better guys on the board.
I don't disagree with that. Obviously, I wanted a couple other guys, right? But the reason why I did the value, and I knew this was going to be tricky. I knew this was going to be a tricky one, was because of the position that held a lot of weight to me, right? Edge rushers. I'm willing to bet on upside at the edge because of the way the league is going. It's a passing league. You need to get after the quarterback. Edge rusher is probably one of the top 3 most valuable positions now. Obviously, quarterback, tackle, edge, corner, wide receiver are considered your money 5. And Dallas hasn't really had a guy that they can count on opposite of D-Law. And I do. Maybe I am putting a lot of weight into his athletic ability. You're absolutely right. But I just think it's so great athletically, and it is. His athleticism is great. And I think that we, the Cowboys, can take advantage of that here in Dallas. And, having Micah long-term, you got D-Law sticking around, I think you'll see that, that athletic ability will shine. With all that said, I would have loved Nick Bonito because just as a fan, that was a guy I really liked.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do have a question though. Where do you recommend getting film, or do you just kind of watch the playback of the games?
Where do I recommend it? Man, let me tell you something. You got to be in the damn Illuminati to find some film, bro. Seriously. I mean, me and Vosh were just talking about this yesterday. Vosh got his hands on some Let's Go film, and it wasn't easy. You know what I mean? So, just try to plug into people that are involved in college or the NFL if you can, and see if they'll help you out in that aspect. So it's really hard to recommend because there is no website, there is no just a go-to guy that willingly gives it to you. You kind of gotta gain a little bit respect in this and trust, and people will give it to you. But when it comes to, and sometimes people put it on like we do. We'll put it on YouTube so you can go watch some of the actual All 22. But when people ask me about guys like the undrafted guys, where there's not a ton of actual film but highlights, I always say, listen, all I saw was highlights. So all I could tell you about is what I saw on the highlights. But I can't give y'all a real educated opinion on it because you got to see the plays that aren't on the highlights, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's why, while I'm not a fan of the Tyler Smith pick or the Sam Williams pick, I kind of have to go off of what y'all are saying, guys who have seen the All-22 film.
It's upside, bro. It's the talent is there for both of those players. But they're banking on the upside, right? The PFA plan is what I called it. The future aspect of it. That's what they really, really wanted in regards to the PFA. They wanted. They're betting on the future with Tyler Smith and Sam Williams.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you for having me on, and I just subscribed.
What's your name, brother?
Michael.
Michael, I'm gonna put you in here, man. Good call.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So he didn't like Sam, And again, I knew people wouldn't. So I'm not really mad at that or anything like that. This was a tough one. Even me at the time, I told you I wanted other people. But he's a Cowboy now, so I went back, watch a little bit more, dive into his background. You listen to him talk. Like I said, a lot of the quotes and the want to be great. That holds a lot of weight to me. It does. It holds a lot of weight to me because honestly, it's very similar to Micah. Like Micah's mentality was, I want to be the best. I want to be great. I love this game. I'm going to do everything in my power to do that, to be that. And you see that with this kid. He's just raw in the sense of playing football in general. He's raw. And I think that's kind of about right for your first two picks. It's kind of about right. Mel says we'll see how these guys pan out. For sure. All right, let's talk about Worth the Poor real quick because I pulled up the ride of the week. That's not the one I want to show y'all. What I really want to show y'all is this one right here because tomorrow I will be live at Worth the Poor once again doing a remote show. We did it last time. I had fun there. Even grabbed me a bottle of wine on the way home. But they're actually going to be at an event tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo block party at the Realm in Castle Hills from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. 4400 State Highway, Louisville, Texas. And if you are in the area, you want to get a free drink, roll up to the Worth the Poor table and let them know you're there on behalf of A to Z Sports, and you will get your free drink. Also, you can use the code A to Z Sports if you download their app or if you go into the store in the colony of Texas and let them know that let them know that A to Z Sports sent you. You get 5% off any of your orders, $20 or more. So, hey, if you're in the area tomorrow, let me know. That'd be pretty cool that you guys checked it out. But tune in tomorrow morning. I will be live at Worth the Poor in the colony of Texas. And if you're in the area and want to come in the morning, I'm there. I'm not saying you got to be. That's mad early, Texas folk. But I'll be there. All right, what y'all talking about in this chat here? Tober won't go into the game flat. Y'all talking about Tober? Tober's next. Debating how, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. We got new players, battles, rankings, a whole bunch of stuff to get into. I don't want to overwhelm y'all with all this good stuff, all these, the good content, just bang, 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 bang. There's nothing to talk about. So we're going to slow roll this. I think maybe we'll do the first day or two this week. So I'll get to Tober, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. We'll see. Then next week we'll do the 4th and 5th round picks, and we'll get to undrafteds. Now, undrafteds will not have their own rating system, but we'll talk about them too. So just stay tuned. if you can get sacks, then you can get sacks. Andre, I tend to believe that context matters, but at the end of the day, as Stephen Jones says, sacks are sacks, but not all sacks are created equally. That's all I'm saying. Sports Guru says he's DQ's version of talking about Bruce Irvin. So I kind of was going to comp Benito to that, a Leo type who could play linebacker and rush the passer. But hey, he's athletically gifted enough to play a Leo. Like, let's not get that twisted. He's athletically gifted enough. But the thing is, with that Leo spot, right, sometimes you want them to drop in coverage. I don't know if I want Sam doing that a bunch. But he will. We've seen Dorrance Armstrong do it last year. Chauncey did it. You know, Dan Quinn's going to have him doing it. And he's more athletic than any of those dudes. So we'll see how it translates. But maybe just covering the flats and keep it at that. Stephen White's wilding. Put D at middle linebacker, brother. No, man. I know you're just saying stuff here, but get him on the field. He'll get on the field. I'm excited to see how he takes to camp, into the coaching in camp, and then preseason, because I think that's going to be very important to him and for us to see about how they use him moving forward year one. Because if he shows out, if he's just dominating preseason like he did in JUCO, if he's just popping in training camp, I do think it's going to be hard pressed to keep him off the field, especially because he's a Dan Quinn guy. Now, I don't want them to just be like, here, big fella, you the starter, and hand it to him. Nah. I think it's a difference between him and then between Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, I think, is going to come in. Yeah, give that man that left guard, because ain't nobody really messing with him almost. Ain't nobody messing with him, in my opinion, at the left guard spot. I don't think McGovern's the guy. I just don't. But when it comes to Sam, I just think you do have a handful of pass rushers, proven guys in this league, that I think is going to be tough for him to beat out. But if he does, now we're talking. Now Stephen White, right? Hey, maybe he does get 8 sacks. He would have earned that, though, because he came out in camp and preseason and was better than those dudes day one. I'm not sure I'm ready to say that yet, because there's more to it than just the athleticism. There's more to it. And I think he's going to rely mostly on that in year one. All right, I got Reek. Let me lock these up real quick. We'll get Reek 908, and I want to end the thing with my guy B. So give me a second, B. What you got for us today, Reek?
Hey, what's going on, Skywalker Still? Cowboy Nation, stand up. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hey, quit lacking on those likes out there. I'm watching. Yeah, man. My thing is this, man. I want this to be a fast, hard-hitting defense, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't know who's coming at you.
Right.
We're gonna be doing all kinds of stunts and twists. You don't know if Mike's coming around their corner, this guy Sam or D-Law. You don't know who coming at you, or even Mike could come. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Or whatever other linebackers, we fast linebackers and stuff we got out there. My thing is, I think whoever, I know Basham, he's not a good edge setter as far as the run game. I don't know how good Fowler or whatever the dude's name is.
Fowler.
Dude that just I don't know how good he is as far as in the run game and setting the edge. I know Sam's he sets the edge. And I think that's something that's big besides his pass rusher that they like about him as far as in the run game. You know what I mean?
He's got room to improve in the run game, though. There's no doubt about that. Like, I wouldn't consider that a strength right now.
Okay.
But he's got
I've seen two guys.
He's got the build.
Splitting two guys trying to hold him on that edge.
He's got the build. He's 6'4", 260, so he's got the build. But running game is not his strength right now. That's just not it.
Okay. My whole thing is long as we got guys on this team, when they see the ball, they're gonna hit the ball, and whoever got the ball going straight down, not no extra yards off the no yak yards. You know what I mean? Because that's my big thing too, is that I hate when we tackling people down the damn field instead of just hitting that person and they going straight down. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, he's strong in that aspect. I think once he gets his hands on you, he's very aggressive. He got violent hands, so I think you won't have a problem with him missing a ton of arm tackles and things like that.
Definitely, man. Well, other than that, man, I believe in Dan Quinn, and hopefully, Steven and the rest of those guys, they're still searching for other people that they might put on this team. Far as maybe a couple of other people, far as experience in certain other areas. You know what I mean? Because if a person like Barr's still out there, right, on the free agency market, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him coming in here, setting his tone, helping a couple of these young guys out, and helping making this defense a little bit stronger than what it already is. I think that's a big deal too. But other than that, man, we just got to wait and see what happens. And I hope that guy Clark, I hope his back heals up the right way and he can be an impact. If not the end of this year, or beginning of next season.
Yeah.
Sometime next season, I'll be cool with that, and I think that'd be a nice value for it too. But a lot of these guys, I like the fact that we got competition in it. We got competition in the room. Nothing's going to be given to anybody, so it was like a lot of players on our team got to watch their back that's been on this team for a little while.
Competition is good, man. Never bad to have competition, bro.
Definitely. But, all right, those guys, that's all I really wanted to say, man. All right, Cowboy Nation, man, y'all get up on them likes, though, because we are watching out here. All right, peace.
Salute, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, and this is going to be a topic that we'll do at some point. Hell, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Give a quick little break within the ratings, because that's on my docket. I wrote a bunch of stuff down to get to as we navigate and sift through this period. Remaining free agents, remaining needs, things like that. And just off the top of my head, he had me thinking linebacker is still up there for me, because Damone Clark is a futures pick. Most of these are, but literally he's not playing till next year. So they technically didn't address it. Devin Harper, I'm going to be real with y'all right now. I think there's going to be undrafted guys pushing his ass. So I don't really see Devin Harper being a part of this linebacking rotation year one. If he makes it, it'll be more so special teams. If he makes the team. There's going to be a numbers game, but that's all. We'll wait till camp. But linebacker is still positioning me. He brought up Anthony Barr. I've talked about Quan Alexander. He's still out there. I think that's a position that Steven should go back out into free agency and look into. We'll talk about that. But honestly, after that, maybe free safety. I don't even say guard, because you're going to move Tyler inside. Oh, and also I misspoke yesterday, and I'll get to it in a second. Wide receiver, maybe wide. There's not many positions, because I think they're going to bank on the Young Bucks. But there's nothing to bank Young Buck wise at linebacker, because they didn't address it early enough. So that's one of the main positions I think they'll go out and look into. But I kind of misspoke yesterday. Y'all probably don't remember, but I remember all this stuff, man. Me and Vosh talk about going back and critiquing ourselves. We watch these shows like film to make sure that things are better for y'all. I said that Steven, now he didn't say this at the presser, but he went on 105.3 and said this. Steven didn't say that Tyler would be the tackle. But on 105.3 The Fan, I listened, and he did kind of insinuate that they want to move him out to tackle. That's a conversation that we could have another day, but I just kind of wanted to correct myself here and not put out the wrong information. It sounds like they really want him to be a tackle at some point. In fact, and this is the part that made me, kind of go, whoa. This is what Steven said, and I wish I had it. Well, we understand, I'm paraphrasing, the injury history of Tyron Smith, we wanted to make sure that we'd had somebody adequate to move out there if he misses time. Oh. Stop. Wait a minute. We're trying to move Tyler Smith to tackle this year? Steven? What you doing, bruh? So that's something that kind of made me think and say, damn, I don't think I'm ready for Tyler Smith to even if it's 2-3 games. I don't know that I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? These are grown men, edge rushers that have been in the league for a long time that know how to beat undisciplined, tackles. So not, and it is Steve, and maybe he just blowing smoke, but the fact that he said, yeah, we view him as a guy, if Tyron, misses time, he can slide out there adequately. You better hope that ball it can be a dude. You better hope that, well, let's go, or if they go out and they get a veteran, which I don't think they will, because it sounds like now they're done with that process and they want to count on young guys. So I don't like it. I'd rather them just say, hey, big fella, you are guard this year, maybe even next year, but for our very least this year, you're our guard. We'll help you. We'll work towards preparing you for tackle, and then we'll see what happens. So don't want to see that happen, Cowboys Nation. Cass said, who's our swing tackle? Bar, well, let's go. They're going to probably battle it out, and even that makes me kind of uneasy. We got to see it. These are all just initial May 4th. Now, we may get to camp and Ball just looks much better. Well, let's go. Looks like he can do it. But I'd feel a little bit better if they brought in a veteran swing tackle just to have, even if it's just for camp. All right, 908. What you got for us, 908?
Hey, what's up? I wanted to talk about the Sam Williams year one impact because I think it's a little more. I have 4 stars on it instead of 2.
All right. Why you got 4 for us?
So when I look at year one impact usually means floor, right? And then long-term projection is more of a potential thing. And I feel like when we look at floor, we should be looking at production, college production. And the guy had 12 and a half sacks last year, which everybody just seems to be overlooking.
He definitely did.
I mean, I heard on the draft show yesterday, they were talking about they think he's only going to see 25% of the snaps. And I just think that he might come in and win the starting job because the way he had all those sacks last year, and he's the all-time leader at Ole Miss in sacks, I think especially since, DeMarcus Lawrence with the injury history, and I don't know, I mean, out of all those guys, none of those guys are definitive starting defensive ends. So you might as well give the young guy a shot.
That is interesting. Now, I'll tell you this. What's your name? Jesse, I'll tell you this, Jesse. If he starts, the year one impact rating goes much higher to me. I tried to preface it with, as we stand right now, May 4th, 2022, I view him as a smaller year one impact because of the rotation that he's going to be in. But if he's a starter that's going to give you 35 to 38, snaps a game, I mean, he's young, so maybe even 40. That changes a bit in regards to production and impact. I just view him as a guy who's going to be a part of a rotation where he's not going to see more than 20, 22, 23 snaps per game because they have so many guys that'll get going. But you do make a point. There is no definitive starter, Oppo D Law, but I think what they're going to do is rotate those guys. Making some good points here, though.
Yeah. The other thing is about Tyler Smith. I don't think that they can move him out to left tackle. I think that not in year one. No, but I've definitely warmed up to that pick. And then Tolbert, the Tolbert pick, I have a feeling that he's going to be really, really good year one. I think he might go for 1,000 yards this season.
Oh, come on, man. He's the one player that I'm trying to control my excitement with, right? Like I'm trying.
Yep. He's the number 2 receiver right now because Gallup's going to miss time.
Yeah, right. He comes in and he's going to be a part of that 3-man trio, the wide receiver 1, 2, 3 with Washington and CD Lamb, and then we'll see what happens when Gallup gets back. But here's what I said, Jesse: if he shows so much promise while Gallup is out, unless Washington, just snaps, right? And he's just uber productive and just a factor out there. I'd argue give Tolbert those reps when Gallup gets back so that he has more experience going into year 2 than allowing a guy like Washington, who you're not going to bring back, to continue to play over him.
Yeah, Tolbert's just a really good player. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's gonna shine when Gallup is out. Yeah. But I'm going to head out of here. Thank you for taking my call. Love the content. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Tolbert's next. Maybe next week we'll do Tolbert, or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. He's the guy I'm trying to keep my excitement under control. I was talking about him before. He just feels like a wide receiver that when you look back at his career 7 years from now, 8, 9, whatever years from now, you'll be like, damn, he's been in the league for 8 years. He had 5 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He's had a receiving season of 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. Just a very steady, dependable wide receiver. I just had a feeling with him because he does so many things well, but he doesn't blow you away with really anything. And I don't think that's a knock. So we'll talk about Tolbert at some point. All right, let's get to my guy B, and then we'll wrap it up in the chat. What's up, B?
What's good with you, my G?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling all right, man. Getting ready to get this workout in. But before I do that, I want to tap in real quick. Just one, I want to start with what where you just ended real quick.
Sure.
So Michael Gallup is, we're going to have him probably 3/4 of the season. He's probably going to miss anywhere from 3 to 6 games, right? Just roughly, roughly, right?
That sounds about right.
Depending on how it's going. Okay, so we're paying him roughly $13 million this year, and we're going to miss him from anywhere from 3 to 6 games. And next year will be the last year of his of his guaranteed money. So theoretically, we could be right back here next year needing another receiver.
Bro.
Am I looking at that right?
I'm gonna look at it for you. You're on the right track, because I said this going into the draft. The Cowboys take a receiver early. Just get ready. In about 2 years, we'll be right back here with the same Amari Cooper mess and trying to figure out who's going to be sticking around. So the out on Michael Gallup, it's not really all right. The out is 2024. If you cut him, post June 1st, you save $9.5 million on your 2024 cap, and you have a minimal dead cap over the next 2 years. It's like $7 million total. So that's the out. I don't think next year you're going to be looking to move on because you're not saving anything by cutting him. So it's 2024. That's why I say 2 years.
Talking next year. I wasn't talking next year. I was saying after next year.
Yep.
We could be theoretically looking at this spot again next year for a receiver.
And he's also only costing you $4.5 million on the cap this year. So you're getting and moving forward, it's a friendly deal. That's why,
it's a friendly
if
deal.
he plays if he plays close to that damn deal, you can keep him around. It's not costing you a whole lot. But if not, sure, you can move on.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking about that as y'all were just talking about that. But as far as the Sam Williams thing, when it comes to Sam Williams, you know why I don't mind the pick, bro, is because I trust Dan Quinn.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't bring up the whole time, yeah.
He's, he's earned my trust from when he was a coordinator in Seattle, even in Florida, and just being here last year, he shows me that he gets it, and he says, we're going to have a plan, which is why I was so excited at the thought of getting a defensive player in the first round, because I'm not going to give the Cowboys and Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy and Joe Philbin another chance to show me what I already believe.
But
if they show me something,
you have to look beyond 2022, right?
No, that's where I'm getting. That's where I'm getting. So I get it, but if I would have had my choice, I would have been like, shit, give Dan Quinn the candy. I know he knows what to do with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Devin Lloyd was on the board. I would have took Devin Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as Tyler Smith, I don't even think Mike McCarthy is coaching his own. I don't even think this is his team. You know how I feel about Sean Payton. We could talk tackle all we want. When you look at Sean Payton's history of offensive linemen, this kid is a guard. He's not a tackle. He's a guard. Going back to, what's his name, Jamari Davis. Remember them two big boys they had up there, man?
What about
them kids?
What does that mean? I'm real curious when you say a Sean Payton offensive lineman, because I look at Tyler Smith as very athletic, and I think about Teron Armstead, right?
I'm thinking about big, powerful interior linemen.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about interior. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think he's good. When I look at, I don't even look at, I'm not even looking at. They had
my cat from Bloomsburg. Was it Jahari Evans? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I said Jahari Davis, but it's Jahari Evans. And then the other kid that they had, he was a big kid too, man. He had some big boys down there, bro. You couldn't touch Drew Brees. You couldn't touch him up the middle. You couldn't touch him. Sure. And so I say all that to say, man, hey, this is fine. I'm looking at this draft class, honestly, as 2023. You know what? We just building and we just putting together, building blocks going forward, because like last year, I had no expectations, bro. I did not think they were going to be that.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And this year, I really don't have the expectations.
I was just about to say, if you didn't have expectations after getting Dak Prescott back, having what I thought was a pretty solid free agency, with the offense that you had intact, the depth that you if you didn't have expectations, then, brother, at this point,
I didn't trust him.
Then,
I didn't trust him. I didn't know what to expect. It was like, only thing that I expected is that Dak Prescott would be the best quarterback in the division. But I didn't, matter of fact, last year, what was the consensus? Washington was the team to beat in our division.
It's the consensus to idiots. Not consensus to
but
anybody.
I'm just saying that to me, to all the media, it was, Washington because of their defense.
Now, B, you know dang well we don't pay attention to the mainstream because they ain't really down.
No, I know.
Like
I'm just saying. That's what the consensus was as far as the media. You know what I'm saying? It was Washington. I didn't expect the Cowboys to go 12-4, bro. I'm not that type of fan. Oh yeah, I did not think that. I'm not even gonna cap. But this year, I'm just gonna sit. I probably should have did this last year and just enjoyed the ride. I'm really gonna sit back and enjoy the ride this year. I'm just gonna sit back and just see where it goes. If it goes great, perfect. Yeah. If Mike McCarthy is out of there, cool. But I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride because I trust what Dan Quinn has when he puts together a plan for a defense. And Sam Williams, I trust the plan that he's going to put. Do I think he's the greatest player off the edge in college? I think Nick Bonito had the best first step of any edge player. That includes K1 Thibodeau.
That's my guy right there.
That boy, man, he had go. But I don't think he was on the clock at 56.
He was.
I may be tripping. He was okay, but see, they didn't take him. But this was Dan Quinn's guy.
This is his guy.
And I trust Dan Quinn. Yeah. I trust Dan Quinn. So with that said, I think the combination of him, Ridgeway, and I love the Damone Clark pick, man. If that kid is healthy, you just found your thumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To let Micah Parsons do his thing.
For 2023.
He just has to be.
Yeah.
For 2023. And that's why I'm sitting here saying, I think this draft class is more about 2023. But I'm going to let you go, agree. G-Man, let you end your show, man, and go ahead. So I'll holler at you later on in the week, my G.
Appreciate it, B.
All right.
100% agree. PFAs, they had a plan. They looked towards the future. They wanted attitude and athletes. This definitely feels like a 2023 type of draft. Seriously. I mean, you go and look at it. They talk about Tyler Smith moving outside at some point, all right? And he needs development. Sam Williams, I don't think he's going to be your bona fide day one starter as we speak right now. But next year, that's probably going to happen. Tolbert, we'll get to Tolbert, man, but don't be surprised. This is your wide receiver 2 of the future. Jake Ferguson could be your tight end one of the future. Well, let's go. We'll see what happens with the tackle spot as a swing. And then the rest of these guys are just – well, Ridgeway technically could be a guy now. But, the rest of that fifth-round pick is fifth round. So that's big-time future type of stuff. So I agree. I think this was a look into the future. They had a plan. They wanted to look into the future. But a part of their plan was bringing in attitude and bringing in athletes. And, we talked about the athletic part of it. I mean, just look. The only guy that got a bad athletic score was John Ridgeway, and who gives a damn? He's a one tech. You're only going to find one freak every 10 years at that position, like a Jordan Davis. And Jake Ferguson literally just fits their tight end mold. So, he is the quintessential Cowboys tight end, which they don't really care about high-end athleticism. Appreciate you, Big Sarge. Says Fire Show. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's get into the chat, and we're going to round this thing out, man. Steven says, not as sexy as selling a truck and getting the top edge and cross for this year, but Smith can get that guard this year and be that old tackle in the future. I have reserves on the latter, but if he can do that, that'll be fantastic. But I definitely agree with being the guard spot this year. I think he's going to come in and crush that. I just do. Clark said he feels good after surgery. That's good to hear. I hope they let him rest, though. Like, you don't want to mess around with the back situation. Just come on back to next year. You ain't going nowhere. You got 4 years under contract. Come on back next year, man. Okay, man. Can't completely remove that. Can you scrub that? I can't. All I can do is block them. You're talking about, and again, I talk about this every single damn chat. It seems like every day in the chat we get these spams. So I can't remove it. All I can do is block it, brother. And I did block it. And you blocked it, so we're good. Mark, you said they said he's ahead of schedule. Are we talking about who are we talking about here? Damone Clark? I don't know how much ahead of schedule you could be in 2 months, but I don't think they should mess with that. I do know Steven said he's going to be a pup guy, and there's potential for him to come back. I just hope they don't mess with it, but I'd keep him on IR all year. Bring him back next year, man. Swaggy P. I know, KD. Why you change your name? Swaggy P was dope. We was winning with Said and Noah. I think Tober will be fine. Tober going to be more than fine. Tober's going to be a beast. Watch. We still ain't seen Simi yet. Yeah, Simi's going to have a fight. I think he's going to be battling with some of these undrafted guys. But what Simi has over those a year in, he's got size and he's got speed. And I was excited for the Simi pick last year, like a lot of these fifth rounders, but nothing really came to it. I wonder if, like last year or earlier in the offseason, Simi talked about, he hinted towards possibly having a tight end wide receiver hybrid role. I wonder if that's still a thing. Because if you look at the depth chart at wide receiver, we're talking about, to start the season, we're talking about Tolbert, Lamb, Washington as your three. And then after that, there is no for sure anything. Noah Brown, we joke about Noah Brown, but Noah Brown, sure, if you want him to be wide receiver 5, cool. But Simi Fehoko, Noah Brown, TJ Vasher, there's nothing definitive there. So maybe they'll need Simi to be wide receiver 4. And wide receiver 4 is probably going to get some tick. Even before Gallup went down, said Wilson was still making plays on the offense. So if I had to guess, or if I had to say, who do you want to be wide receiver 4, I would say I want Simi to grab that, because Simi has a lot of boom potential because of his athleticism. See, Nick said Noah and Vash are going to be cut. If there was a line on betting, CJ, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I just truly believe I would bet against you that Noah Brown will be cut, because there's something he got on these Joneses. There's something, I don't know what it is. And I'm not saying Noah's just this bad player or whatever, but he just sticks around. I would take the bet on Noah being around here, especially with Michael Gallup being out. And Chris, I didn't forget Michael Gallup. My point was to start the season. Michael Gallup's not going to be here for the first month, maybe not till first 6 weeks because he might get put on that PUP list. So going into the season, all you have is Tolbert, Lamb, Washington, and after that, it's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of uncertainty. Toxic. Wow. All right, man. Anything else y'all got? We're going to get out of here. Good timing. I think we got good timing today. Later tonight, Mo will be back on. Trolling me, as my guy Sam will say. Nah, I know you was messing. A to Z Sports Prime Time. I'm still working on getting some of our writers on the show. Maybe I might just throw that together for tomorrow. We'll see. You never know what you're going to get here on A to Z Sports Live in the morning show. But I do know you'll get energy. We'll try to inform, and we'll have a good time in the chat. We'll have a good time in the chat. Make sure y'all check out my guy Mo later on. Hit that like button on the way out. As a lot of our callers have been saying, it means a lot. Helps out. We're trying to continue to grow this thing. I want to come out of the rookie mini camps and whatnot. I want to hit 16. I want to hit 16K, and then once we get to the season, it'd be nice to get to 17K. So we're going to continue to keep pumping out this content for y'all. Y'all just continue on supporting the way you do. It means a lot. With that said, I'm going to go ahead, press this button so we can get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow, 8:15-ish. Come on through. Yeah, Lennox is the guy I'm trying to get on here. That's exactly the one. We're working on it. We're working on it, man. We're working on it. Run this back if you missed it. We're on all the podcast platforms. Hit up A to Z Sports Dallas.com. Love you. Be out. Y'all be good. Peace.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today.